Have you ever thought about having a little hole where you could spy on other MSPs to see how they do with their contracts, how they bill, and for what they bill, specifically when it comes to users and computers and things like that? Well, you don't have to do it because I'm going to tell you all about it. So in this video, we are going to talk about the most common type of contracts that MSPs create and what they charge for, not at the specific itemized elements, but when it comes to users and computers. Hi, this is Jesus, founder of MSP Marketing Agency, and let's get into it. Okay, so let's talk first about how they engage with their clients when it comes to users. So for this, I've seen pretty much two options. One is invoicing at the computer level, and the other one is at the user level. Now, the companies that I've seen doing it at the computer level are usually smaller MSPs that want to get into the market fast, and they do it offering this option because it's more affordable for companies, right? So you charge per computer instead of per user. Again, the positive is that maybe you're offering a better deal, so to speak. The con to that is that if they have not a lot of computers, if they don't have a lot of computers, but they have a ton of users, that's going to create a lot more work for you because more tickets are going to come. For example, if one person blocks the computer and now other people cannot get into it, things of that nature, right? So that's the pro, that's the con. Now, at the user level is the more traditional way to invoice and bill companies. So you do by user, no matter how many computers they have. The con to that, I don't think there's a lot of con, it's just how things are in the MSP world. And the pro is that you're actually billing for what, in my opinion, you should bill when you have grown to a specific level. So if you want to start with computers, that could be a good starting point if your MSP is new. Always framing the company that you are doing it that way because of whatever reason. Maybe you are new, or maybe you want to give them a good deal at the beginning. Try to frame it where at some point you're going to switch to users. So at least you can start slow, but then you're going to transition them to how I think you should be billing them for, okay? Now, when it comes to contracts, I've seen three models that MSPs use, right? One is your traditional 1 to 3 year contract. Now, this is great for your MSP because it gives you some predictability, right? If you have a long-term contract, you know that you're going to be paying monthly for that amount of time, and that's great. Now, on the flip side, it's a little bit more difficult to get businesses involved in your MSP when it comes to two reasons. One, if you are new, that's going to be a little bit tougher. And second, if they have been burned by other MSPs, and if you don't have like an excellent sales process, which, to be honest, most MSPs don't have, right? So long-term contracts is great for predictability, but create more friction on your sales process. Now, another option that I've seen is 90-day contracts. Now, the cool thing about this is that it's easier to say yes to 90 days. Pretty much every company can say yes to 90 days compared to 12, 24, and 36 months, right? So you do 90 day and then month to month. Now, the pro about this is you have less friction. You are giving people the opportunity to then say no after that. And that's great for them. Now for you, this is going to force your MSP to up the customer service side of things, right? Because after the first 90 days, you're going to rely on your customer and tech service in order to keep your clients longer. However, it gives you this entry point that is easier than if you're doing a long-term contract. And now, when you have been working with them for years, you can upgrade them to a long-term contract as well. Last but not least, the other one that I've seen is on a block of hours, right? So the pro about this is that there's almost no commitment. I mean, there's two models for this. One is the one that companies require a specific amount of hours per month, which is pretty much a month-to-month contract. And there are other MSPs that do roll their hours to multiple months. I don't recommend this unless you know that your clients are going to spend tickets and hours reaching out to you because they have the need. So you can figure that out on the sales process, investigating a little bit if they've been working with another MSP, how many tickets they've sent, how many challenges they have, etc. And that could be a good way to find out if this is a good business model for you, even though I don't recommend it. So that's all. I'm curious to know if you knew all these business models for MSPs around the US, and if after listening to it, you may have changed or you might have different ideas that come up to your mind, maybe to improve or change how you are billing companies. That's all for now. Feel free to subscribe to the channel to get more content like this.